Hi, I'm Audrey. I was born in a crazy family in New York. Please like and subscribe. My Mexican mom was so proud of her language that she never wanted to learn better English. Dad would say mean things with a smile to fool her all the time, and I hated it.
Wow, this stew tastes like mud. What did you do to it, you insane woman?
What you telling me? Do you like?
Estoy contenta.
As a kid, I never had the courage to tell Mom what a jerk he was, cause I knew she'd be sad. But every time he did that and smirked at me, I knew that Mom would soon catch on to his words, and it would end bad. And over time, Mom learned more English from her neighbor friend, and she realized that all these years Dad had just been giving her hatred. Their fights got bigger, and one day, when I was in the 7th grade, Mom finally decided she wanted a divorce. When I had to choose a parent, of course, I chose Mom. We took off to Mexico that same night. Mom, are we going to Grandma's?
Oh, Misha, amor.
Grandma moved away a long time ago, but we have a new loving family here.
A new family? The cab stopped at a huge mansion, and a strange man ran towards us and hugged Mom. He also said something to me, but I didn't get a word. Mom then took me to a room, and it was all ready for me. Mom, what's going on? Who's this man? As Mom started telling her secrets one by one, I kept sinking deeper into the bed.
That's Carlos, and he used to be my boyfriend long ago. If your grandma hadn't forced me to marry your dad, we would have been a big, happy family already. And you know what? He has a son your age, Matthew.
What was I just hearing? Mom, I left my school, my friends, my whole life in New York for you, and you created your own family here and didn't even tell me about it? How could you keep all this from me? She kept explaining, but I just asked her to leave the room and slammed my door hard. It was so much to take in, and I just wanted to cry. Suddenly, I heard a loud, non-stop knocking on my door. Who is that? Okay, wait, stop that, I'm coming. I opened the door to find a boy standing outside grinning at me. Who are you, man? Lost your way?
Shouldn't I be asking you that? But your mama. Well, now our mama said,
Matthew, go meet your sister.
so here I am, Hermana.
What? Whatever, don't call me that.
Mama didn't teach you Spanish? Also, I heard New Yorkers are very stylish. But look at you, you're worse than my ex-girlfriend. Hey, that's a joke, okay? Don't cry.
Can you do me a favor and please get the heck out of here? I made him leave, but he left loads of mud on the carpet. That night at dinner, Mom introduced me to everyone, and Carlos even made a toast to me. But after that, they all started talking in Spanish. Was I invisible? I stood up to leave. Then Mom held my hand.
Where are your manners? We're having family time.
Family? You all are clearly a family, Mama. Excluding me. I don't even understand your language.
Oh, Misha, amor.
Just use the language of love. It's easy, try it.
Mom, can't you see I feel so left out? But you're just joking about it. I shook her hand off and walked up to my room. The next day, I was joining school and thought at least that would give me some relief. Until Matthew came and sat right next to me. Holy moly!
Hey, better not tell anyone we're related. And can you please wax your mustache? People will think you're me.
It's not my problem you've got a girly face. He hit my face with a book, and suddenly the teacher yelled,
What's going on there?
Ma'am, can you believe it? She's asking me to be her boyfriend. But I told her, I already have eyes for you.
I was sure the teacher was going to kick him out now, but to my surprise, she giggled.
Oh, stop it, you.
What? Who was this boy? Soon I realized Matthew was the coolest kid in school. All the girls and even the teachers adored him for his crazy jokes. Not me! I hated him even more because he spoke in Spanish with Mom every time I was around. I felt like an alien in the house. That Christmas, Carlos was gonna host a grand party, but I wasn't interested. I think I have an important exam that day, and in the evening, I have dance practice.
Liar! We don't have any exams on Christmas. And dance practice. You can barely walk.
Ugh, I was gonna kill him. Seeing Mom and Carlos's faces, I could tell they wanted me to attend. So I reluctantly said yes. And the party wasn't that bad. I got to meet a handsome boy, Leo.
Hey, I know you must already have a boyfriend because you're so pretty. But I have to say, you have the most dreamy eyes. I've been watching you for hours.
OMG, that made me blush. Thanks. Actually, I don't have a boyfriend. Yet we exchanged numbers and started hanging out. He seemed really cool. But one day, when Leo and I were having lunch in the school cafeteria, Matthew appeared out of the blue and pulled me aside.
Have you gone mad? Why are you sitting with that jerk?
He's not a jerk. He's my friend. Maybe future boyfriend. And why do you care anyway?
Listen, he's not a good guy. He flirts with everyone, and God knows how many girlfriends he has.
Look, who's talking? The one who flirts with teachers. Just leave me alone, okay? I can handle my own life. I knew he just wanted to spoil my first real relationship, so I ignored him and left with Leo. After that, we started going out more often. One evening, Leo invited me to his house for a party, and I was having a great time. As we were dancing, Leo suddenly pulled me closer, and my heart skipped a beat.
Oh, Hermosa, thank God you flew all the way from New York just for me.
He held my face, and we kissed. Suddenly, someone kicked Leo hard, and he went flying into a wall. Matthew, what are you doing here?
Just protecting you from this virus.
He took my hand and started walking out, but I pushed him away. You crazy idiot! You're the virus that's destroying my life. Why can't you just let me breathe?
Breathe all you want, but see this first.
He took out his phone and showed me Leo's Instagram page. It had a video of me and him kissing under the caption, 100th kiss from a New York chick. The page had videos of him kissing 99 other girls too. It looked like one of Leo's friends here had been making our video and was broadcasting it live for him. I jumped on Leo and scratched his face.
Ah, the New York chick has gone crazy like her mad brother. Someone save me!
Shut your dirty mouth! I trusted you, you mud mind. And I started pulling his hair like crazy. Matthew gave him a nice punch and then took me home. I felt really embarrassed for not listening to Matthew before. He'd only been looking out for me. So the next day at school, I sat next to him.
Not so worried about this life-destroying virus now, yeah?
I realized it's better to have him as a friend than an enemy. I thanked him for the night before, and he just laughed and hit my face with a book again. As days passed, we became good friends. I also decided to talk to Carlos and Mom and apologize for being so neglectful. But they surprised me instead.
Princesa,
We have some exciting news for you.
Sí, mija.
Your 15th birthday is coming. And here in Mexico, we call it
Quinceañera?
But why do you want to do this for me? You know, after I've been, well, not so nice.
'Cause we're family, estúpida.
And you're no less than Matthew to me. I want to do this for my daughter.
I felt so stupid for not seeing this before. These people really cared about me, just like the family I'd always wanted. On the day of the party, I could already hear music and people laughing and talking. As I got ready, I walked out all dressed in their traditional way, and everyone clapped for me. Just then, Matthew barged into the room looking mad.
Stop the party, Papa. This girl doesn't deserve any of this love and attention.
What?
Matthew, calm down. Audrey is your...
Nothing. She's my nothing, Papa.
What's gotten into you, man? I was horrified when I saw what he had in his hand. It was my diary. Oh my God, no!
After all this effort we've been making for you, this is what you really think of us? You suck.
Matthew, enough. What are you talking about?
Oh, let me read it out loud, Papa. This place is hell on earth. I hate their food, their language, this house. Carlos is so loud and annoying. Why is he so desperate to be my dad? Probably because his own son is a loser with half a brain. They're both stupid and I deserve better.
There was a pin-drop silence as everyone stared at me. You should have never taken my diary, you jerk. And yes, I wrote this, but that's when I first came here. I was having a really hard time adjusting. I was just mad, and I didn't really mean it. This is not how I feel now, Carlos. Mom, I promise, I really like being part of this family.
You're not part of this family, Audrey, and you never will be.
And before I could stop myself, I said the stupidest thing ever. Oh, shut up, Matthew. You're not part of this family either, 'cause you're adopted. It was something Mom had told me once, and Matthew didn't know about it. Now he did, because I just blurted it out. Carlos turned white, and Mom looked raging mad.
What a lame thing to say, Audrey. As if. Tell her, Papa. Papa, why do you look like that?
Oh, Matthew, I meant to tell you. On your 16th birthday. I promised I was going to, son.
Matthew looked stunned. Carlos walked over to him, but suddenly he just pushed him aside and ran out. Carlos went after him while Mom turned to me.
I raised you better than this, Audrey. But it seems you're more like your dad, hurting good people for no reason. Hurting your family. I'm so disappointed in you. Party's over, everyone.
As the guests started leaving, I ran to my room in tears. I felt terrible. Even if Matthew had read my diary, I'd done something 10 times worse. And the next day, I was back to being the alien of the house. Nobody was talking to me, and I deserved it. Matthew wouldn't even look at me in school. Anytime I went near him, he walked the other way. I tried for days to make it up to him. One evening, I sneaked into his room, finished his history paper, and left it on his desk. When he came home, he took one look at it, tore it up, and threw it in the trash. Then I had an idea for a gift that I was sure would make him forgive me. I used all my savings to get him a signed basketball from his favorite player. But when I looked into his room later, I was horrified to find him slashing it with a paper cutter. Oh my God, what are you doing? This was signed by...
I don't care. I just want you to stop doing things for me and stay out of my face.
How do I make you believe that I'm really sorry, Matthew? I'll say it in Spanish. Lo siento mucho.
There's nothing you can ever say or do that will make things okay. Now please, get lost.
It just looked like things were ruined between us for good. But one evening, I was walking a few blocks away from our house when I saw two boys wearing masks drag Matthew into an alley and start beating him up. I charged at them while screaming, and with the baseball bat I had, I hit one of the boys straight in the knee while the other one ran away. Leo, don't you dare touch my brother again, estúpida. I left him there crying on the ground and helped Matthew up. He leaned on me as we walked back home. And as soon as we entered, Mom and Carlos cried out.
Oh my God, what happened?
Papa, I'm fine, really. Thanks to Audrey. But why were you going around with a baseball bat anyway?
I've been following you everywhere for days, Matthew. Leo came up to me a week ago and said he would do something to make you pay for exposing him at his party. I knew you wouldn't really listen to me, so I had to do something. I couldn't let you get hurt. I've done a pretty good job of that myself. Suddenly, Carlos stepped forward and hugged me.
Mija, amor.
You saved my son today, and I want to forget everything else. I know you didn't mean those things.
And I'm okay about knowing about the adoption, Audrey. It came as a shock, but Dad and I have talked a lot about it since, and I'm fine. It doesn't really change anything. You don't always have to be related to be family.
I understand that now, and I'm so happy Mom brought me to you guys. I'm sorry about everything. And Carlos, you're the dad every girl wants to have. I love you! Carlos had tears and hugged me. Mom did too.
Don't forget me.
Hi, my name is Rose, and I'm from Germany. Please like and subscribe to Luna AVATA. I was born to parents who were rich, so rich that we had several maids, chefs, butlers, and drivers who worked around the clock for me and my crazy family. Dad was a genius on the stock trading platform, and Mom was Miss World in 1998. I loved my family, but they were so used to being spoiled that our entire lives revolved around money. Once when I was 7, I wanted to go camping. So Dad hired a set designer to create a camp set in our massive backyard. He also hired a weird mountain man to entertain us with stories and how to make a campfire.
Who wants to hear a bear story?
Yeah, I do. But my sister Lucy, who was 2 years older than me, had her head stuck in her phone. So our camping experience eventually got boring. And soon after, as I grew up, our family hardly spoke to each other. When I was at school, I was crowned the computer genius. Lucy was popular on social media, and we were both the hottest girls in school. Once when I was in 8th grade, 10 boys asked me and my sister out all at once. These boys were so lame and too desperate for our liking. Lucy and I had a checklist. The guys that we dated needed to be smart, rich, and hot. I wasn't worried so much about the rich part. I preferred intelligent guys, and in my school, all of them were rich but also total smurf brains. And then, one day when I was in the 11th grade, a new boy joined her school and took my title of computer genius. I was kind of jealous at first, but when he smiled at me, I melted, having a huge crush on him. Would you like to go out for ice cream sometime?
Will we be celebrating my new title in the school?
Don't rub it in. After that, Gregory and I became an item. He drove a Ferrari and seemed much richer than my family because he lived in a mansion much bigger than mine. Once, When I was in the 12th grade, I decided to visit him at his house unannounced. And when I got to his house, his parents acted very weirdly. I'm here for Greg.
Oh, he's upstairs.
Okay, can I see him? When they finally let me in, I went to Gregory's room and found him busy with something on his computer. Greg?
What? Who let you in?
I'm sorry. I thought I would surprise you. He looked really angry.
I hate surprises. Don't ever come here without calling first.
I was so mad at him when I left. I felt like just breaking up with him, but then he came over to my house with flowers.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't have snapped at you. Please forgive me.
I don't know. You acted so strange. What was more important than me?
I was actually planning a surprise trip for the both of us to Thailand.
I immediately forgave him. He was so romantic, and he obviously loved me since he was spending so much on me. We went to Thailand just for the weekend, and my parents liked Gregory, so they also trusted him while we were there. Gregory was all romantic at first, but then he changed when I wanted to go shopping.
Shopping for clothes? Did you bring your credit card to pay for all those clothes?
What? But you said to take whatever you want and you'll pay.
Yeah, but I didn't expect you to buy the entire store.
Lucky for me, I did have my dad's credit card and managed to pay for my stuff. But the next day, I woke up to a shock. Gregory was gone. He left a note along with my plane ticket back home. He broke up with me on a note saying, "Nice knowing you goodbye." What a jerk! I felt like my world was falling apart. Why would he break up with me this way? When I tried to call his number, it went to voicemail. I had to gather my strength and head back home, and maybe then find out why he suddenly just left. Could it be because of all the clothes I bought? But when I got back home, my family was on edge. Everyone was pacing up and down, and as soon as I entered, Dad rushed up to me.
Rose, where's my credit card? Someone hacked all my trading accounts using my credit card, which is linked to every other account. So, Rose, you have to tell me where that credit card is.
I was totally freaking out and tore my whole bag apart looking for that card. And then I asked Dad to take me to Gregory's house, and when we got there, his mansion was empty. Oh my God, Dad, I think Gregory took all our money. Dad looked at me silently. At first, I thought he was going to blame me since Gregory was my boyfriend, but all he did was remain quiet. But Mom and Lucy went berserk.
We are broke because of your scheming, scamming boyfriend.
How was I supposed to know he was a fraudster? He drove a Ferrari and you liked him, Mom.
Yeah, I did. But he was still your boyfriend. You should have analyzed his intentions.
And then Lucy looked at her phone and screamed like someone died. What happened?
The Wi-Fi isn't working. How am I supposed to post my selfies from this morning?
Oh, I was supposed to pay for that today, but not anymore. Girls, I'll be in my office. I have no idea how I'm going to fix this.
I felt like everyone blamed me for this. And after 2 weeks, all our maids, chefs, butlers, drivers, gardeners, and pool cleaners quit because we couldn't pay them. Dad soon started investigating the matter, which was going to take some time, so we all had to adapt to some changes in our overly expensive lifestyle. We managed to keep the house, and since Dad paid our school fees for the entire year, Lucy and I didn't have to change schools, which was a relief.
Okay, so at school nobody knows we're poor, so let's just try and keep it that way.
Of course, why would I want anyone to know that we're poor? Maybe because it's
all your fault.
I am sick and tired of everyone in this family blaming me for everything. That's just so much pressure. I started crying and Lucy felt bad and apologized.
Okay, I'm sorry, but our life just sucks so much right now.
While we sat sulking about our poverty-stricken life, we heard Mom scream from the kitchen.
Somebody help.
Lucy and I ran down to the kitchen and found the stove on fire, and Mom trying to put it out with a tablecloth, and it was reaching for the ceiling.
Ah, it won't stop quickly. Get some water.
While Lucy thought a glass of water would help, I brought the fire extinguisher and thank God was able to put out the fire. But now our entire kitchen was ruined, and there was smoke all over the place. We gotta sit outside until the smoke is gone. Come on. We all sat outside on the stairs, and Mom was in tears telling me how she was trying to cook, but ended up ruining the kitchen.
I guess we'll have to order food. I hope they give us some discount.
Right then, Dad came in, all smiles.
Hello? Everybody?
Oh, did you get our money back?
Nope. I found a job. I'm going back to selling insurance, and once I make some good commission, I'll start trading again and get all the money that we lost.
Well, Daddy's plan didn't follow through the way he saw it. 3 months went by and we were still struggling, and the only thing Dad could afford was food. So I decided it was time to get a part-time job as a waitress.
But Rose, if you work as a waitress, everyone in school will know.
Yes, I know, but maybe if I work, I can help Dad pay for the Wi-Fi. Lucy immediately smiled, but she wouldn't dare try to get a job since she cared so much about what people would think. The restaurant I worked at was a classy place where all the rich and mighty dine. And one day, while I served a bunch of top-class businessmen, I overheard their discussion about new digital devices. I got excited and couldn't contain myself. I have plenty of ideas for new devices. Imagine having a portable hard drive is something almost like an iPod, but with more space. That way, users will be able to carry all of their important information on one small iPod. We could even make it have a video presentation for business meetings. After I was done babbling, they looked at me, stunned. Then the tall man with a big forehead was so rude.
You can just get our order, please.
I walked away, feeling embarrassed, and then the next worst thing happened when I waited at my next table. They were girls from my school who envied my sister and me all the time, and the worst of them all was Charlotte.
Wow, you work as a waiter? Ha 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 ha, this must be my lucky day. Wait, I have to take a picture of this.
Oh, Charlotte, get over yourself. I work here and earn my own money, unlike you, a spoiled brat forever.
Ugh, that's no way to talk to your customers. Where's the manager? I want to file a complaint.
He's out to lunch, so can I take your order? It was the most dreadful day of my life. But the next day when I went to school, everyone called me Waiter Girl. Since Charlotte posted my picture on Instagram, and during recess, while Lucy and I were minding our own business, Charlotte started being so annoying with her stupid minions.
We've noticed that you two bring lunches to school these days. Should we open up a charity fund dedicated to the richest in the school? Oh, let me rephrase. The poor, smelly girls of the school.
Shut up, Chatroulette. Lucy got up, angrily clenching her fist, and I calmed her down. Don't worry about her, Lucy. She's just a jealous girl who has no goals.
At least my goal is not to be a waiter. Ha ha ha.
Yeah, your goal is probably to be a brainless peanut all your life since you get big fat zeros on all of your tests. Charlotte eventually left us alone, but then after school, Dad picked us up in a rundown car, and Charlotte got the entire school to come and watch us get in it.
Oh my gosh, where did your dad buy this junk from?
At that point, I had had enough of Charlotte's farty face. Just leave me and my family alone. Our financial life is none of your business. Dad was shocked when we got home, and he told us that his contract at work was about to end. So he sold his Land Rover and got us a scrappy car. Life was getting even worse for us. I put on my waiter clothes and got out of the house to work an extra shift. While I was at the restaurant, I found my manager watching Luna AVATA. Wow, you like Luna AVATA?
Yeah. Is that a problem?
No problem. I was just surprised.
There was a guy who came looking for you. He left his number.
When I called the number, a part of me was hoping it was Greg calling to say he was sorry and he wanted to give us all our money back. But it wasn't. Hello, you were looking for me at the restaurant.
Yes, our investors liked your pitch that you suddenly decided to blurt out while you were serving our table. We have an offer for you if you could put all those ideas on paper.
Yes, I can. I left my extra shift. I went home and started putting ideas together for new devices. I didn't want to say anything to my family yet. I just wanted to get the offer first. The next day, I met with those business people again, and I was blown out of my mind when they told me I was going to get $100,000. I was on cloud 9. I immediately signed the contract, and they even asked me to stay in contact if I had any other ideas. I couldn't believe this was actually happening, and when I showed my family the check, we celebrated all night.
Rose, you just saved our lives.
Does this mean we can get our chef back? Because I'm getting really tired of eating baked beans every day.
Not just yet. Dad needs to first work his magic on the trading platform, and then maybe. I was so happy to see my family relaxed again. Lucy wanted us to go shopping the next day, since all of our heels were starting to lose their texture. 2 pairs, and that's it, right? We need to use all this money wisely.
Yes, I know. But what if I see a third pair that I like?
Lucy! Just before we could head off to the mall, Dad screamed from the living room.
Rose, you have to see this.
When I went to check what he was talking about, the news was on, and Gregory was handcuffed and sentenced to prison for the next 20 years for being one of the biggest fraudsters in the city. And the parents that he said were his parents were just actors. I felt so relieved. And Dad eventually got a call from the credit card company. With good news, all his money would be returned. Soon after that, I completed school, got my degree in computer science, and became the next richest person in our city. And then, one day I even had my own business meeting at that classy restaurant.
Can I take your order?
Charlotte, you work here now?
Yes. So, can I take your order?
I didn't laugh or insult her because there's really nothing wrong with being a waitress. We all have to start somewhere if we want to make it.
Hi, I'm Emery, and this is my story. But before I continue, please like and subscribe. When I was a kid, my parents always fought a lot. Mom got so fed up that she yanked me out of bed one night and snuck me out the door. Mom, I'm sleepy. I want to go to bed.
Shh. Quiet.
The next thing you know, we'd moved to a tiny apartment in a strange town, and I hated it. I screamed and cried for Mom to take us back home. Take me back! This is whack! I tried reaching out to my dad, but he was always too busy. That made me sad. But Mom found ways to cheer me up. Eventually, I got used to our new place, and hanging out with Mom was pretty cool. After a while, Mom met someone new. Soon they were married, and we moved into a new house. My stepdad was nice, but his daughter was a witch.
Hey Naomi, welcome your new mom and stepsister.
Welcome them. You, Dad, they're poor. Why are we keeping them here and feeding them? They're disgusting and gross.
Haha, she's just kidding. She's a little shy. She's a sweetheart once you get to know her.
Naomi was the worst. She threw ketchup in my face, turned the lights off when I was reading, tossed my clothes out the window, and stole all my toys. I tried to tell my mom what was going on.
Hey babe, we're guests here. Naomi is a bit spoiled, but we have to learn to accept her.
Thank God Naomi and I didn't go to the same school. Naomi went to an expensive school for brats, and I begged my mom and stepdad to let me stay at my old school. But a few years later, things took a turn. My stepdad's company lost a ton of money and he couldn't keep up with the bills.
Girls, money is tight, so we'll have to enroll both of you in public school.
Public school? No!
Naomi threw the biggest tantrum and refused to eat for a week. Though I caught her sneaking cookies from the kitchen at night. On the first day of school, Naomi acted like a total spoiled brat.
Hey everyone! You may see this girl talking to me, but that doesn't mean we're related. She's just our maid.
No, she's our maid.
No, she's our maid.
No, she is our maid.
No, she's our maid.
Naomi and I fought all the time. We shouted at each other in the hallway, had a food fight in the cafeteria, and one time during science class, we started shoving each other and accidentally hurt the teacher who was trying to separate us. She ended up with a broken nose. The kids thought we were insane. Neither of us had any friends. I mean, I couldn't blame them. Naomi was a crazy witch and I'm cool, but shy and weird and insecure and invisible. So yeah, after weeks of being outcasts, we grew a bit closer. Just a bit. 'Cause we were lonely, and we only had each other. Then one day in first grade, our parents sat us down to give us some news.
We're gonna have a baby.
Oh really? That's cool!
A baby? Why would you go and do a stupid thing like that?
The baby came and my parents were so happy.
A beautiful little boy.
Isn't he precious? Let's call him Sam.
I fell in love with Sam immediately, even though he was annoying. He cried a lot and peed all over the place. Naomi avoided Sam like the plague. She'd lock herself in her room and only came out to eat.
Look at his stupid, dirty face. Oh my God. Why is he throwing food everywhere?
I played with Sam every day.
You're so good with him. Honey, could you watch Sam while Dad and I run some errands?
Sure, no problem. As time went on, Mom and Dad started leaving him with me all the time. Eventually, I was Sam's permanent babysitter. When Sam turned 2, he turned into a maniac. He drew on the walls with crayons, smashed an expensive vase, and poured milk in my dad's office drawer. And they blamed me every time.
That vase cost a fortune. I'm taking it out of your allowance.
But it's not my fault.
I told you so.
Told me what?
That the brat was a bad idea. It's only gonna get worse.
And Naomi was right. One day, I had a huge chemistry test and told my parents way in advance that I needed to study. But they still shoved Sam in my face and just left. I'd had enough. I dropped Sam off in Naomi's room and headed out the door.
Where do you think you're going?
I'm done with this family. I'm out of here.
You can't just leave me with this thing.
Watch me. Look, Sammy, she has cookies. Sam grabbed Naomi and I walked out the door.
No, get away. Leave me alone. Help.
I hopped on the bus and went straight to my dad's. He was out of town when I got there, so his maid let me in. For the first time in a long time, I had peace and quiet. My mom and stepdad freaked out when they found out I'd left, but I refused to come back. In school the next day, Naomi ran up to me looking crazy.
I can't take it. Please come back home.
I thought you hated me?
I do, but Sam's a demon. He tore up all my clothes and flushed my makeup down the toilet.
Sounds like you're getting a taste of your own medicine. I turned to walk away, but then Naomi started bawling like a big baby.
Please, I'll do anything. Just come back home.
Okay, maybe I'll come back, but on one condition. You have to do what I say when I ask.
No way. I'm not your maid.
You won't be my maid, you'll be my assistant.
That's even worse.
Take it or leave it. Naomi reluctantly agreed. But even if she hadn't, I'd have moved back anyway because I missed my little Sam. The thought of him being ignored by my shallow parents and selfish Naomi made me sick to my stomach. I moved back in, and whenever our parents left us with Sam, I'd set up a schedule, so Naomi and I shared the responsibilities. Things were great for a while, but they took a turn. When Sam turned 10, he stole my mom's diamond ring and gave it to his classmate to impress her.
A pretty ring for a pretty girl?
Are you crazy? I can't take this.
Sam got so mad he punched the girl in the face. Then he sold mom's ring to his friend.
I'll give it to you for $50.
40!
Deal!
One day, Sam's teacher called my parents in for a meeting. Of course, they were too busy to go and sent me and Naomi instead.
We came because our parents have leukemia. Oh my god.
No, she means anemia.
No, I think I meant amnesia. They're getting old and crazy.
They're just sick, and we came instead of them. Can you tell us what the problem is?
Sam gave one of his classmates a black eye. He broke a window, and he's been terrorizing the other students.
When we got home, I went straight to Sam's room. We need to talk about what's going on with you in school.
I'm busy.
If you keep this up, you might get expelled.
Get out!
Sam slammed the door in my face. He was very stubborn, but I wanted to help him. When my mom and stepdad came back that night, Naomi and I told them everything.
It's those mean kids, they hate me. And they're always making fun of me because I don't have nice things.
Oh, darling, we're so sorry.
We'll buy you new clothes.
Then Mom took Sam on a shopping spree. I couldn't believe they fell for his act. Later that night, my parents went out of town for a business dinner, and Naomi and I were watching Avatar World videos in my room when Sam appeared out of nowhere.
Hey, stupid witches, you're gonna pay for telling on me.
Get out of the way, psycho! We're trying to watch TV!
Sam pulled out a huge jar of crickets from behind his back and smashed it onto the floor. The crickets landed in our hair and all over our clothes.
Ha ha ha! Get them, my pretties!
A couple of months later, Mom and Stepdad called us into the living room to tell us we were moving into a brand new, fancy house.
So wait, we're rich again?
Yes, we have twice as much money as we had before.
Thank God! I hated being poor.
Now I can go to a fancy college.
Only the best for my daughter.
A month later, Naomi left for college in another city. I could have gone away too, but I was too worried about Sam. So I got enrolled in a college close to home. But soon after, my stepdad enrolled Sam in an expensive private school, and he started hanging out with these spoiled rich kids. I had to make sure that he didn't get into some big trouble. In my sophomore year, I was reading in the park one day when suddenly I spotted a big dog running at crazy speed with a guy my age trying to grab his leash. His name was Alex, and he was a senior in my university. I gave him my hoodie, and we ended up talking for a while. I hadn't even realized 2 hours had gone by. Oh shoot, I gotta go. I gotta check in on my little brother.
So how? How do I get your hoodie back to you? Maybe I could take you out for dinner tomorrow?
Oh, I'm sorry, but with the university and some things at home, I really don't have time to date.
Gotcha. Well, here's my number. Just let me know where I can drop it then.
He started walking away, and so did I. But a part of me felt like I was doing the wrong thing. Hey, wait! How about a coffee tomorrow?
Sounds like a good place to start.
Alex and I started dating, and being with him just made me happy. For the first time, it felt like someone was noticing what I needed and was taking care of me. But things at home with Sam just kept getting worse. He was skipping classes and getting detention all the time. And then some creepy guys started coming around the house looking for Sam when my parents weren't home. When I asked him who they were, he just told me to mind my business. Then one night, Sam came home with a bruised face. "Are you okay? What's going on?"
I'm fine, sis. I can take care of myself.
"Sam, I can't be your babysitter forever. I have a life of my own, and one day I'll just leave."
Then leave. My life, my choices. You can't change someone who doesn't want to change.
Then he just hugged me and cried. The next morning I tried to talk to him, but he was already gone. I'm worried about Sam. I think something's going on with him.
You worry too much, honey. Sam's fine.
Have you seen his face?
He said he got hurt during football practice.
Soon after I graduated, Alex proposed. And I was over the moon. I'd have to move out, but I would only be 10 minutes away from Sam. Not that he seemed to care much either way. And on my wedding day, Sam was nowhere to be found. I kept calling him, but I couldn't get through. And we couldn't postpone the ceremony any longer. I felt so upset that he had missed this. But 2 hours later, I finally got a panicked call from Sam asking me to pick him up from some bad neighborhood. "You're not a baby anymore. You just ruined one of the most important days of my life. I've always been there for you, and you couldn't even be there for me, even today." I started to give up hope of fixing him. I was fighting a battle alone, a battle that wasn't mine, and my parents just made things worse. Sam failed high school, but my stepdad paid the school board to give him passing grades. It made me so mad, but I had no say in the matter. Then one day, the company I worked for gave me an amazing job promotion if I moved to California. It was a great opportunity, but I felt unsure. Alex supported me either way, but I tossed and turned all night, thinking about what to do, and finally called Naomi.
You've got one life, Emery. You can either live it for Sam or live it for yourself.
Sam had started interning at his dad's firm, but I observed him for some weeks and saw that he still had the same kind of friends and was still blowing money and partying the same way. And I finally made my decision.
What? You're going to California? That's across the country. I need you here, Emery.
No, not really. You only need me around to clean up your messes. But I'm done doing that. Sam, you were right. You can't change someone who doesn't want to change.
Emery, please. You're all I have.
You've got Mom and Dad, and they'll take care of you in their own way. You're their kid. I just can't be your parent anymore.
But you're my big sister.
And I'll always be there for you as that. So when you decide to fix your ways, come and see me, okay? I love you, Sam, but I'm leaving. It's time.
Hi, friends. My name is Anna, and I'm from LA. Before I tell you my story, please like and subscribe. I used to live in a tiny apartment with my dad, but he wanted to give me everything in the world.
Sweetheart, I promise you I'll give you the world. You'll have everything that I didn't have in my childhood. I will make you so happy.
But Daddy, I am so happy. See, Dad fulfilled his promise and worked hard. He became one of the most successful businessmen in the country, and I couldn't be prouder. Dad loved spoiling me. He'd get me all the latest gadgets, collectible Barbies, and I even had a theme park inside our mansion. I had everything and lived the life of a princess. But there was just one thing missing. My mom. Ever since I was a little girl, I was so curious about my mom, and whenever I'd ask him about her, he'd tell me how it was her loss that she left us. On my 5th birthday, Dad threw us the most lavish party ever. He went totally overboard and had ponies and even hot air balloons. I was having a wonderful time with my friends, but when I was in the jumping castle, a kid was being super pesky and kept bumping into others. When he pushed me, I pushed him back, and he ended up falling out of the jumping castle in an instant. His mom came running and hugged him so tight.
"Oh my God, my dear, are you hurt?"
She then glared at me and said,
"If your mom hadn't left you, maybe she could have taught you some manners."
I felt so crushed. Even though it was that kid's fault, and he wasn't hurt bad, his mom was so worried she lovingly swept him into her arms and left. It was at that moment I realized that leaving me was not my mom's loss, but mine. And then I ended up throwing the worst tantrum ever. When Dad brought my giant cake out, I kicked the table. I don't want this. I want my mommy. Daddy, give me my mommy. Everyone was stunned to see me acting out, and then the party was over. Later, when Dad came to tuck me into bed, he gave me a gift.
I wanted to give you this when you were older, but I know you need it now.
It was a locket with a picture of my mom. It was the first time I was seeing her picture, and it made me so happy. Every night, I kissed her picture and vowed to find her someday. Mommy, one day when I grow up, I promise I'll find you, and I'll be so good you'll love me. One time I was at school, and we were going for swimming lessons. The teacher asked everyone to remove any watches and jewelry we were wearing, but I just couldn't remove Mom's locket. Teacher, can I keep my locket on, please?
Why?
It's the only thing I have of my mom. I never take it off. Hearing this, the teacher squeezed me into a hug, and all the kids looked at me with such sad eyes.
Oh, I am so sorry, Anna. I didn't know. My heart aches for you. Sweetie, you can keep wearing that locket.
After that day, everyone seemed kind of extra nice to me in class. They'd offer me the best seat during lunch. Everyone wanted to sit with me and would even share their lunch with me.
Anna, try this. My mom made it especially for you. When I told her about your mom, she so wanted to cook this for you.
Okay, thanks a lot. Even in class, the teachers were extra sweet to me. One time, we were having a test, and I just coughed, and my teacher went all emotional on me saying that I didn't need to take the test.
Okay, that was awesome because I wasn't prepared.
With a smile, I left the class, but during lunchtime, Bella came over to me. She was like the meanest girl in our school.
Anna, don't you get sick of your sob story every time? It's, I don't have a mommy. Always taking sympathy from teachers and other kids. You're such a drama queen. No wonder your mommy ran away from you.
God, her words made my blood boil, but it also hurt me so much I felt I would start crying. But just then, someone spoke. It was Isaac, the scholarship student at her school.
Come on, Bella, you have your entire life to be a jerk. Why not take off today? Leave her alone.
Bella just rolled her eyes and checked her nails.
You know, Isaac, you and Anna, you're both pretty much alike. She uses her mommy story, and you use your oh I'm so poor story so people will have pity on you. So pathetic. That did it.
I never wanted anyone's sympathy or pity. Without even thinking twice, I grabbed Bella's hair, and then she did too. We both were fighting like crazy. Later, we were taken to the principal's office. I was expecting to get detention, but she only punished Bella, and that really pissed me off. Why didn't I get punishment? I also pulled her hair.
Anna, we know you're a good student. Bella has had many complaints against her. It's time she faces the consequences of her actions. I am going to expel her.
Whoa! I knew the principal was taking pity on me. I stormed out of the office, but was totally surprised to see how many kids gathered outside looking at me with gooey eyes. Is everything all right? Why are you guys looking at me so weirdly?
Weirdly? Anna, it's pure adoration. You saved us. You're like the first girl to show Bella her place. It was so cool.
The look on her face felt like a cherry on top of a cake. Okay, I sure wasn't expecting this. After that day, Isaac would follow me around everywhere. Not just Isaac, but so many other kids too. They treated me like some sort of leader, and I was in no way a leader. All the time I would be getting praises and compliments, and it was kind of getting on my nerves.
Oh, Anna, your skin. It's so beautiful.
Anna, can you teach me how you solve that math equation? I know you study smart instead of studying hard. I don't want to be like you.
Since I liked music, there was one time in art class, I was just humming a song when all of a sudden Isaac put me in the spotlight.
Oh my god, that was the sweetest voice I have ever heard. Come on, guys, let's hear it from Anna.
No, zip it, Isaac. But then everyone started chanting my name like I was some pop star. Even the teachers mustering all my courage. I sang, and everyone clapped so loud for me. Okay, that was weird because I was just a normal singer, nothing extraordinary, but everyone treated me as if I was something special. As if things couldn't get any weirder, my classmates chose me as the class president. The surprising thing was that I never participated. I didn't have any clue how to be a class president, but Isaac was there for me. Turned out he was a really nice guy and helped me every step of the way. Isaac and I became best friends. The guy was totally my support system, always there for me. When we were in high school, Isaac started working in a cafe as a barista, and I loved hanging out there. One time when I was at the cafe, Isaac made his signature coffee for me. But just then, I saw someone enter the cafe, and I dropped the cup. It was Mom. I could recognize her face in a million faces. She had 2 kids with her, and the moment Isaac saw her, he greeted her and called her Emily. I felt like my whole world was standing still. I came out of my stupor when I saw one of her kids run out of the shop, and that's when I bolted. Hey, stop, get back in here. No. The kid just stuck out his tongue at me and was about to run onto the road. But thank God I lunged forward. I grabbed his shirt and pulled him back, and right then a truck passed by. That was close, really close. Right then Mom came out and thanked me.
Oh my God, thank you so much. You saved my baby. You're an angel.
No problem. I just turned to leave, but Mom grabbed my shoulder. I thought she'd recognize me, but it was something else.
So you work here? You seem like someone who can handle kids. Can you babysit my boys? I'll give you a letter of recommendation once you're done. I'll pay you well too.
Oh my God, how could I say no to that? I instantly agreed. I started working at Mom's place, and it had been 3 days, and I totally loved it. She lived in a big mansion, but that was nothing compared to where Dad and I lived. I was pretty amazed to see Mom's life. She loved makeup and posted her videos on Instagram, and her husband seemed like a nice guy who really loved her. Every night before leaving, I would see Mom tucking the twins into bed. She would snuggle them and shower them with kisses. It was adorable, but it always made me feel a tad bit jealous. In a few weeks, the twins and I started to get along just fine, and Mom was so happy, telling me how they never liked babysitters, but had started to love me. Why wouldn't they? I was their big sister. There was one time Mom had to go out, and when she returned, I was totally drained, and she felt bad for me.
Oh, honey, I am so sorry I got late today. I'll pay you extra today. And what have the twins done to your hair? Come on, I'll give you a makeover. Have you looking like a supermodel.
Makeover? Wow, I would love that. Mom then put on some light makeup and did my hair just like she did hers. But once she was done, she looked at me so shocked I wondered why. And looking at my reflection in the mirror, I knew the answer. I looked just like her. I wish you would notice how much we were alike. Notice me?
Wow, you are a very pretty girl.
Just like you. I mean, of course, you did my makeup and hairstyle like yours. So that's why I look so pretty.
Perhaps. But girl, you are a natural beauty.
After that day, I felt like Mom's eyes were constantly on me. Every time I'd be doing something with the twins, I would catch her staring at me, and then she'd look away. I knew something was on her mind, but she never said anything. There was one time when Mom was making peanut butter and jelly sandwiches for the twins and offered me one too. PB&J makes me puke. No way!
Really? Same. I hate them too. I didn't realize we're so much alike.
Yeah, perhaps. Mom looked at me for a few seconds and then blurted,
Anna, what's your father's name?
My heart started to beat so fast. Finally, she had realized who I was. But just as I opened my mouth, Mom's husband stepped in and kissed her, and I decided to talk to her later. But later that night, I heard noises from Mom's room. I was so worried and went upstairs, but what I heard broke my heart. Mom and her husband were arguing about Mom's first daughter.
You're telling me this now after all these years? You deceived me.
I was so young when I had her. But now things are different. I know I made a mistake.
Yes, a mistake. Mistakes are meant to be forgotten. Just forget her and focus on the now. Your family, your husband, and your boys.
That moment, I realized what I was doing. Mom was happy. She had the perfect life, the perfect family, the perfect husband, and I was ruining it all for my own selfish reasons. I just ran out of the house, and thank God Isaac was waiting for me outside. I instantly hugged him and told him everything. I just want to leave her alone. I can't do this. I can't shatter her perfect life.
But she's your mom too. It's your right to confront her.
Forget about it. Let's go home. That day when I went home, I gave Dad a tight hug. He truly was my world. I decided to get out of Mom's life and let her be, so I started to avoid her calls. She texted me and wanted me to come to her house, but I refused and messaged her saying I had a new job. But a week later, something strange happened. I I was in my room when I heard Mom's voice. She was calling my name, and I came running down the stairs and was so shocked to see her. Dad and I both stood stunned, and then Mom came running and swept me into her arms.
Oh my God, I knew it. It's really you, my daughter, my Anna. That day I wanted to talk to you, but you left. Anna, I am so sorry. I'm so sorry for my mistakes. Why did you leave without talking to me?
Because I am a mistake. Mistakes are meant to be forgotten.
Oh, darling, please forgive me. I was a fool for thinking so. You are my strength. You are the person who made me a mother. It was foolish of me to abandon you, but I promise, even if I had to fight against the world, I'll never leave your side. I love you so much.
I love you too, Mom. I love you so much.
Hi friends, my name is Subin and I'm from Korea. Please like and subscribe. When my mom was pregnant with me, so was her best friend.
When our kids are born, they'll be buddies just like us.
And Ben and I were growing up. He was my pal. One time, Ben and I were playing and he was running after me. Then he accidentally nudged me and I fell down the stairs. I hit my head. But before I could cry, Ben started wailing.
No, Subin! Oh my God, it's all my fault. Does it hurt? Let me pick you up. Gosh, you're heavy. Subin! Are you okay?
Ben? I'm fine, really. Saying that, I hugged him. Ben was such a softie. I did get an infinity stone on my forehead, like Vision, but I didn't blame Ben. He was the best, and I wished we'd always be together. But when I was 5, Ben and his parents had to move to France for a work opportunity. And I missed him so much. As if things couldn't get any worse. Dad suffered a huge loss in his business soon after. Slowly, I saw how bad Mom and Dad's relationship was getting because of money problems. And after a few years, Mom left us. But Dad always tried to make me happy. We were so short on money that we had to shop at thrift stores, but he spent hours looking for the things I'd like.
Look at this jacket, Subin. It has rhinestones. You love rhinestones.
It is pretty, Daddy.
See? I told you we'd find some good stuff here.
Since I was a good student, I got a scholarship at my school and relieved Dad of that burden. I worked hard and was a top student. I needed to keep the scholarship. And when I was in the 10th grade, something awesome happened. Ben and his parents had returned to town and moved into a big mansion. And seeing Ben on the first day of school after summer vacation, my heart started beating fast. And then he swept me into his arms.
Subin! Oh my God, you haven't changed a bit!
But you have. You're so tall and whoa, so muscular. Ben and I were in the same class and we started hanging out together all the time. But I soon realized he was getting way too much attention from all the girls, especially Haran. And she was the worst. She acted like she owned the whole town just because her mom was the mayor. And to my horror, Ben and Haran soon started dating. I hated her. But for Ben's sake, I pretended to be nice, and she did the same. She acted like a saint in front of Ben, but not when he wasn't around. She'd do petty things like pull out the chair when I was about to sit, and she would always comment on my clothes and appearance.
I'm saying all this for your benefit. No one likes a girl who looks so poor.
I'd rather be poor than a jerk like you. Gosh, what did Ben ever see in that witch? One time for lunch, Ben had gotten the yummiest pizza, and we were enjoying it when Haran came and hugged him tight.
Oh, I missed you so much in art class. Why didn't you join it, Benny Winnie?
You know I'm a science guy, babe. Here, wanna have some pizza?
She refused, and then Ben packed the leftovers and told me I should take them home because he was full. Dad and I never ordered out much, and I was happy to share it with him. A few weeks later, it was Ben's birthday, and he invited me to his place. I saw how Ben and Haran were dancing so close to each other, and it made me feel so jealous. I went to the balcony for some fresh air. After a while, I was headed back inside when Haran and some of her friends came, and I hid behind a plant.
You've really got yourself a hot boyfriend this time, Haran.
Yeah, he's totally wrapped around my fingers. He adores me and gives me the best gifts. There's just one problem. His miserable beggar friend. Oh, I really hate her. You know, Ben cares for her so much that he gets her favorite pizza for lunch every day and pretends to be full so she can take the leftovers home. He really pities her and she has no shame. She could probably live on his charity forever.
Why would Ben tell her something like that?
What? So pathetic.
Wiping my tears, I just ran back home. After that date, I sort of ignored Ben, even though he asked me if something was wrong a million times. I just didn't need his pity or his charity. When we were in our senior year, our teacher announced a science tournament and the winning team was going to get an amazing cash prize. Dad and I could always use the money, so I immediately signed up for it and I was paired with Ben. I tried to get my partner changed, but the teacher said it was final.
So you want to come over to my place to brainstorm some ideas?
No thanks.
Hey, Subin. I don't know why you stopped talking to me, but come on. This is a great opportunity. Let's do this together, please.
I knew Ben was a science genius and being paired with him was probably the best thing. So I reluctantly agreed. We came up with some really cool ideas and I ended up at his place almost every day to work on them. But I noticed how his mom was never around. A few times I asked about her, but he'd always ignore the question. But one time, Ben and I were at a park near his home and he asked me the strangest question.
Subin, do you ever miss your mom? Does she call you? How does it feel to live with just one parent?
I never really thought about it. I guess it's not so bad knowing how much my dad loves me. It's not exactly a secret that we don't have much money, but he goes out of his way to make me happy. I don't know how to live with two parents, but the one I have, I love to bits.
That's really sweet, I asked because, well, my mom, she isn't well. She's going through treatment. Sometimes it's really hard to see her like that.
Oh God, Ben, I'm so sorry. I didn't know he was going through such a rough time.
Subin, why'd you stop talking to me?
Taking a deep breath, I told him what happened at his birthday party.
Subin, Heron kind of twisted my words. Yeah, I told her you guys were going through a tough time, but because you're my friend and I care about you, not because I pity you. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have discussed it with her at all.
Saying that he came close and swept my bangs aside.
You still have the scar. I was so scared that day. I'm so sorry, Subin.
Hey, it was a long time ago, and it kind of reminded me of you. When you were away, Ben looked at me like he might kiss me, but he suddenly snapped his fingers.
Bazinga! I just got a brilliant idea for our project.
And he sure did. Just a few more adjustments and our model worked. We came first at the science competition, and Ben gave all the prize money to me, saying I did the hard work. It wasn't true, and I knew he was just being kind. Why did such a nice guy have to be with Haran? But then Ben told me one day that he was going to break up with Haran soon. My heart was jumping with excitement, but I pretended to be sad. And when Ben broke it to Haran, the girl had a complete meltdown. She took a bat and smashed all the notice boards around the school during her psycho rampage. Haran suddenly spotted me and was coming right at me, but Ben stepped in between.
Stop making a fool of yourself, Haran. It's over.
You're doing this because of her! Because of this poor, ugly bimbo!
Subin's my best friend, and she's special to me. Don't insult her again.
Haran stomped off furiously, and I was left dazed. Ben just said I was special to him. Whoa. I was on cloud 9, and I just needed to confess my love to my best friend. I didn't have the guts to say it to his face, and we didn't have phones, so I wrote him a letter. Dear Ben, I saw you for the first time in kindergarten, and I've had a crush on you since. What I really want to tell you is that I love you a lot. Subin. During recess, I slipped the note in Ben's bag, but for some reason he got called to the principal's office in the last period. I kept wondering if he saw the letter, and when I got a reply the next day in my locker, I almost had a heart attack.
Dear Subin, I love you too. I was going to tell you, but I didn't have the courage. Let's meet at our spot tonight. I can't wait to kiss you. Ben.
It was like all my dreams were coming true. Wearing a new dress, I went to the park and waited for Ben. I was so excited and nervous. But suddenly I felt someone pull my hair and I landed on my butt. Haran!
Oh, a new dress for Ben! Ha ha ha! He ain't coming, sweetie. He showed us your letter and we're all in fits.
What? You're lying.
Oh no, I'm not. You really think he'd leave me for some poor beggar like you? In your dreams, girl.
Haran kicked me and suddenly I saw red and I pounced on her. But her friends got me off of her and then they all ripped my beautiful dress. I felt so furious that I punched Heron square in the jaw. What happened next was a disaster. Heron called her mom and made up a whole story about how I attacked her for no reason, and her mom made a case of assault against me and actually sent me to juvie for 2 months. My dad was devastated, and so was I. Even worse, Ben never showed his face, not once. Coward! As soon as I got out, Dad and I left town. After weeks of interviews, Dad finally ended up finding a decent job, and I worked as a waitress too, while I studied in a community college. 4 years later, I graduated with a law degree at the top of my class. Luckily, I got hired by a law firm, and just a couple of years later, I became a junior partner. One day, I read a piece of news that filled me with joy. Haran's mom had been arrested for corruption during her time as mayor. The whole family was being publicly humiliated. They deserved it. Sometime later, my firm asked me to set up an office in my old town, and I was kinda glad to return. I wanted to show everyone what I'd made of myself. One day, I was busy doing some paperwork when Heron walked into my office asking me for a job.
Please, Subin, help me! No one in this town wants to hire me or my family for anything. I know I was mean to you.
Cruel, you were cruel to me.
Yes, cruel and terrible. Please, please forgive me.
After Haran begged for a job for days, I finally let her be my personal assistant. And she had to do literally everything I asked. I really made her suffer for a while. It was fun, but then it wasn't. Seeing her qualifications, I gave her a higher position.
Wow, I don't know what to say. Thank you. And this means you've forgiven me?
No, not really, but I'm trying to be a better person, better than people were to me.
Subin, I never wanted things to go so far with you going to juvie and everything. Mom just got carried away. I'm really, really sorry.
After that day, Heron was always nice to me, and so was I. I just didn't want to hold grudges. But one day, as I was walking out of a coffee shop, I bumped into a guy. It was Ben.
Oh my God, Subin, I've missed you. We need to talk.
Suddenly, the memory of him giving my letter to Heron came rushing back. No, stay away from me! But the next day, there were tons of roses in my office and a note from Ben telling me how he wanted to meet at our spot. What a jerk. But this kept happening every day for a week. One day, I got so frustrated that I started throwing them out the window. But Haran stopped me.
Subin, I need to tell you something, and it's gonna make you hate me even more. But I have to. Ben is completely innocent.
What are you talking about?
Ben never got your letter. I stole it from his bag, and I lied that he showed it to me. I made all of that up, and he never showed up to see you because, well, he'll tell you everything. And again, I'm terribly sorry.
I drove to our spot in the park and saw Ben sitting on a bench. And I gave him a chance to explain. Turns out the day I put the letter in his bag, Ben got the news that his mom had suddenly gotten much sicker, and he flew to France with her for some treatment. He stayed there the next 3 months, and he said he called my place and wrote me letters, but he never got a reply. And when he returned, I'd already left town.
I looked for you a lot, but I had no idea where you were or why you'd left without a word, till Heron reached out to me some weeks ago and explained everything she did.
She just told me everything, too. I'm so sorry about your mom. I'm sorry I left without giving you a chance to even explain.
It's all in the past. There's only one thing I need to say to you now, Subin. The thing is, I've always...
Loved me?
Yes!
I've always loved you too, Ben, since forever.
Hi, I'm Michael from Chicago. Please like and subscribe. I was born to the kindest people you'll ever meet. My dad owned a giant tech company, and we were wealthy. But my parents were always caring and generous and taught me to be the same. When I was in the first grade, my parents took me to an amusement park for my birthday, and as we were leaving, I suddenly spotted a boy crying behind a bench. I realized it was Ethan from my class. He was a giant bully, but I couldn't just leave him there. Just, hey Ethan, are you lost? Let me help you. My parents and I searched for his parents all over the giant park, and finally found them after 2 hours. It turned out that Ethan's dad was my dad's biggest business rival. His parents didn't even thank us and just took him away. Rude. I thought after what happened, maybe Ethan and I could be friends. But the next day at school, I was walking down the hallway when he suddenly pinned me against the wall.
If you tell anyone you saw me crying, I will deal with you. Do you get me?
I won't. But how about you stop being a jerk to me?
Why? I still don't like your face.
He pulled my bag and threw it across the hall, sending my things flying everywhere as he laughed and ran away. Things never got better, He kept being a jerk, and my revenge was beating him in both studies and sports. Everyone else at school really liked me, but I always tried to be kind and helpful. Once in 8th grade, I was helping our driver wash the cars when I noticed something heartbreaking at the gate. It was a girl my age, searching the trash for food. I walked up to her, but suddenly she dashed away like a cheetah. "Wait, come back, I don't want to hurt you." But she was so fast I couldn't keep up. "We have lots of food in the house, even cakes. I'll get you some." She stopped immediately, then slowly walked back to me.
Cakes!
So when I told my parents about her, they immediately invited her for lunch. Her name was Veronica, and she gobbled up her food like she hadn't eaten in weeks. Veronica started coming to our house every day after that. She never talked about her family. Whenever I asked, she got moody, so I dropped it. One day we were having lunch when we heard a loud knock on the door, and seconds later, a huge man barged into the dining room.
Veronica, it's time to go home.
Hey, I don't know who you are, but it looks like she doesn't want to go with you.
I'm her father, and I don't need your charity. Stay away from my child. Veronica, we're leaving now.
She crept out and he led her away. She didn't come again. My parents and I were really upset and contacted child services to try to track Veronica down. It turned out her father was a wanted criminal. He was arrested soon after and sent to jail, while Veronica ended up with some nice foster parents, who even enrolled her in my school. Hey, I'm really sorry about your dad.
It's okay. I don't really miss him. He wasn't very nice. He often forgot to get me food and made me leave school because he was on the run.
That's awful, but it's all in the past now.
Yeah, and I wanted to stay there. I don't ever want to talk about it again.
Pinky swear we won't talk about it again. I wanted to give Veronica a present for her first day at my school. So I asked my mom to take me to the mall and picked out a beautiful red sweater for her. I waited for her at the school gate. She was late, and I was beginning to panic. What if she decided she didn't want to go to school anymore? Thankfully, she showed up.
You thought I'd change my mind, right?
Yeah, you had me a bit worried. Here, I got you something.
Oh, it's so pretty. And red's my favorite color. Thank you.
She hugged me, and I felt a million butterflies in my stomach.
Whoa, who's this babe, and why are you hugging that cockroach, babe?
I was about to tell Ethan off, but Veronica spoke up first.
I don't know who you are, jerk, but don't talk to us again. Come on, Michael, let's go.
Veronica fit in easily and was making new friends in no time. I was a little jealous that I didn't have her all to myself, but I was glad she was enjoying school.
Guess what I did today? I joined the track team.
That's awesome. I'm sure you'll beat everyone. I'm still trying to catch my breath from the first time I chased you.
The secret to slowing me down is to say, hey, I got cakes. I'll probably stop running and follow that person.
Having Veronica around was a dream come true, and I was just falling more in love with her. One day after school, I was looking for Veronica when I found her in the hallway with Ethan. Hey, is he bothering you? Ethan, just back off.
Whoa, calm down. He's part of the track team, and we're going to an event together.
That's Ethan. He's been a jerk to me since we were kids.
But he's my teammate, Michael. And actually, he's not that bad.
Come on, Veronica, we're running out of time. Get it?
Veronica laughed out loud and walked away with him. What? It was a terrible joke, but from that day on, Ethan was always around Veronica, and it burned my heart. Veronica was so good on the track that she was winning medals in no time. She became really popular and was always hanging out with the cool kids now. But one night in the 10th grade, I was studying for a test when Veronica crept through my window.
Hey, Michael, I missed you.
Really? You bailed on our plans like 100 times.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. So listen, Ethan took me out for a drive, and I completely forgot about this big math test tomorrow. Will you help me, please?
Okay, I'm studying right now, so pull up a chair.
Oh, not right now. I mean, can you help me during the test tomorrow?
You mean cheat? You know I never do that.
But I'm going to fail, Michael.
Yeah, well, that happens when you hang out with people like Ethan. Keep doing that, and he'll ruin you.
If you can't help me, at least don't give me a lecture. Thanks for nothing. I'm sure Ethan will think of something.
And with that, she left. The next day, I spotted a shy girl in our class, passing cheat sheets to Veronica and Ethan during the test. That was Ethan's solution, bullying other kids to help them cheat. But just then, the teacher caught the girl and took her off to the principal. Moments later, Ethan and Veronica were called out too and then suspended for a week. I really hoped that Veronica had learned her lesson. But a week later, I found her and Ethan cornering the shy girl in the hallway.
You're supposed to be one of the smartest girls in class, so how come you're so stupid? You ratted us out to the principal. You know what we do to snitches.
And can you stop crying? You got snot on your face, and it's gross.
What the heck? Veronica was a bully. Veronica, what's wrong with you? Knock it off and leave her alone.
Mind your business, nerd.
I wasn't talking to you, jerk.
Well, you're talking to my fist now.
And then Ethan punched me. I tackled him to the ground, and we both wrestled like crazy until some teacher stopped us. For the first time ever, I landed in detention. Veronica tried to talk to me, but I just walked past her. I completely avoided her for the next few days. But then one evening, the police arrived at our house with some news about her dad. He was really sick and was being transferred to another city for treatment right away. He wanted to meet Veronica before he left. She wasn't answering my calls, so I went to her house. Her foster parents told me she was at Ethan's place for a party. Great. It was the last place I wanted to go. But I had to tell her. As I looked around for her, my heart suddenly dropped to my stomach. Veronica was in the corner with her arms around Ethan, and then she kissed him. Veronica, I need to talk to you. It's urgent.
What are you doing here, man? You're not welcome in my house.
It's not like I want to be here. Veronica, listen.
I'm going to call security.
Michael, can you please leave? I don't want you creating a scene in front of my friends.
She started walking away, and suddenly I felt a wave of rage. Is that all you care about now? I thought you'd like to know that your dad is sick, and he wants you to see him before he's shifted to another prison. The loud music suddenly died as I shouted, and everyone stared at us.
What, your dad's in prison?
You're some criminal's daughter?
Veronica burst into tears and ran out. Veronica, please stop. I'm sorry, She suddenly turned around and pushed me so hard that I fell to the ground.
It's the one thing I ever asked you, Michael. I said I never wanted to talk about my dad, and you decided to announce it?
I didn't mean to, but I had to tell you about him, and you wouldn't listen.
I think you can't stand that I have other friends, and you just wanted to ruin that. Do you think I should be eternally grateful to you and not have a life of my own because you saved me from a dumpster?
Veronica...
Just leave me alone.
The next day at school, everyone had heard about her dad, and her friends had dropped her like a dead fly. I tried sitting next to her at lunch, but she immediately walked away. But later that day, I saw Ethan and her holding hands, and she didn't look so sad anymore. I stayed away from them and tried to focus on schoolwork. Dad asked me to start coming into his office after school to learn more about our business, and I was happy to keep myself busy. Our tech company was launching new gadgets soon, and I was quite excited to be a part of it. But a few weeks later, I woke up to really loud voices downstairs. I went running and found my parents watching the news. I couldn't believe my eyes. Ethan's dad was on TV introducing a prototype of the gadget our company had been working on.
I just don't understand how our plans were leaked. My office is secure, and my home study is always locked. I just can't believe anyone working for me would betray me. This is terrible news. All our investors will be furious, and our company is going to take a huge hit.
And it did. The company suffered huge losses, and there was no way to prove the theft. I went to school a week after the whole disaster, and I couldn't bear to even look at Ethan. His dad was a crook. But later that day, I was going to sit on the bleachers when I spotted Veronica yelling at him.
How could you do this? You told me those files were about some small project Michael was working on, and you'd mess up the plans to embarrass him in front of his dad. You never said it was something that could bring his parents' company down.
Oh, okay. I lied. Boo-hoo. I didn't make you do anything. You got those files for me and then put them back, remember?
I was angry. I only wanted to humiliate Michael. You went too far, and I thought you loved me.
It's not my fault you're stupid. You really thought I loved you, daughter of a felon.
Veronica, you did this? I couldn't believe it. The girl I loved was responsible for our ruin.
Michael, please wait. He lied to me. I didn't know what he was doing. I just wanted to mess with you because I was upset. I never meant to hurt your parents.
Don't ever speak to me again. All I've done since I met you is love you, and you stabbed me in the back.
Wait, you love me?
Not anymore. Now I wish I'd never met you. The next few days at school, she didn't show up, and I didn't care. One day I was in my room when Mom came in.
Honey, we went to Veronica's foster home and they told us she ran away. I'm so sorry.
Whatever, good riddance.
Michael, that's unkind.
Mom, you still think she deserves kindness after what she did?
I'm sure she got manipulated by that boy. Remember, she had a rough past, and maybe she was just trying to fit in and be loved. I know what she did was awful, but she was a good girl, and I hope she's okay.
Mom's attitude made me feel ashamed of myself. and I soon started regretting the things I said. But I couldn't take it back because Veronica had vanished. In a shocking turn of events, an employee from Ethan's dad's company came forward with proof that the product had been stolen from us. They had to pay millions in damages, while his dad served time in prison. The family moved away and I never saw Ethan again. High school passed fast enough, and after graduating from university, I joined Dad's company and helped build it to newer heights. One day I was at a shopping mall when I caught sight of a girl who looked like Veronica. My heart was pounding as I ran after her, but by the time I got outside, she was nowhere to be seen.
Michael, is that you?
Oh my God, Veronica. I've always wondered what I'd do if I ever saw you again. I don't even know what to say, except that I'm so happy you're okay.
Michael, I thought of this meeting a million times too, and I really need to say that I'm so sorry. I was so stupid, and I knew even then that you'd never hurt me on purpose. But I ended up hurting you and your family so much. I left because I couldn't face you guys anymore. Please, please say you'll forgive me.
I hugged her and we sat on a bench and talked. After she ran away, she ended up in a foster home again and got adopted by some really nice people. I was so glad her life hadn't been miserable. As I loaded her groceries in her car, I spotted something in her back seat. It was the red sweater I'd given her in the 8th grade. Veronica, do you think I can call you sometime and ask you out on a date? I've wanted to since forever.
You can ask me right now, and my answer is yes.